Hello students, and welcome to another video where I'll be demonstrating how to construct a triangle. In this case, when you are given the perimeter and the base angles. All right, so given those information, we will construct a triangle. Now, the information given here is that the perimeter is 166 millimeters. So the distance around the triangle, when you add up all three sides, it will be 166 millimeters. Now the base angles, of course, that these would be the angles at the bottom. All right, it is 89 degrees and 54 degrees. All right, 89 and 54. So when we finish constructing these triangles, this triangle, the base angle will be 89 and 54. And in addition to that, you will be able to actually determine the size of the third angle. As a matter of fact, you should already have done that. All right, so using this information, we will construct the triangle. Now, step one. Of course, we normally start with the base. Now, you might be asking yourself, what would be the length of the base for this triangle? Because we were not given any length of any side. We were given the perimeter, right, which is 166. So you might, be wondering, like, what length would I use here? Right? What length would I use here? So what I'll do, I will draw this baseline to 166 mm, right? I will draw the baseline to 166 mm. So again, you might be questioning, why am I drawing this baseline, at 166? I'm utilizing the entire perimeter. All right, so no need to worry. I will explain and you will see exactly how this is done. All right, so baseline 166 mm, that is 16.6 cm. All right, of course, I would label, but I would not use AB, right? Because normally we use AB as the base. So I'll just use X and Y in this case, right? To represent this baseline. Good. Now, in having this baseline, right? What I'll do now, I'll obtain the two angles. So I'll use my protractor because those two angles, they might be impossible to construct, right? So I'll use the protractor to find those angles. So I'll use, from X, I'll find 89. And of course, we know we have 80 here, and then we have 9, which is 1 away from 90. Right, so we mark that point there. Right, we mark that point here. So when I'm finished, I draw a line from here to that point. Right, as you can see, I'm having some issues there. All right, so I'll just leave it right there. Good. So this next one now, I find 54. So I would go here and find 54 degrees. So I find 50, I find 55, and we know 54 is right next to 55. So I mark that and I draw my line straight through that point. Now, again, you would be questioning, this here, if I'm to get a triangle, I have to extend this line all the way up, and then I have to extend this one all the way up, and it might come off your page. So nothing is wrong with that, right? Nothing at all is wrong with that. All right, so you would leave it this way. If the lines do not meet, then nothing is wrong. You just leave it like that. So the next step is that we would bisect these two angles, right? We bisect both of the angles. So we can remember how to bisect an angle, right? We scribe the arc. And of course, we go from one and we can open to the other or beyond. All right, a little beyond, and we scribe our two arcs. Of course, one in the middle here, right? One in the middle, and one in the middle, and of course, the other one will intersect that one. And of course, remember, we're using the same measurements, right? The same measurement. So what we do here, we draw the line through the intersection. And of course, that will give us the center of 89 degrees, as you can remember. So we come to the other end, the other angle, and we do the same, right? We bisect the other angle also. So we scribe our arc, all right? And then we go from each point, go from the first one, and we draw an arc in the middle. All right, remember from time to time, you can change the measurement. If you join the first arc, you can open it or you can close it. Nothing is wrong, but when you join the second one, you need to use the same measurement that you used to draw the first one. All right, so the same measurement you use for that, and you draw the line straight through that intersection. And again, in this case, you would have the two bisectors meeting at the point here, right? Meeting at this particular point here. Now, that point we can label as C. All right, that would be the apex of the triangle that we are looking for. However, these are not the sides because, of course, you can remember the entire base is already 166, which is supposed to be the distance around. So we are not finished as yet. Now, what we need to do is obtain a line parallel to this first angle that we draw, right? We need to obtain a line parallel to this angle from C coming downwards, right? From C coming downwards. Now, if you can remember from a few lessons ago, we use the set square to obtain parallel line through the process called sliding, right? So we set the set square on the line, and then we set the ruler at the bottom of the set square, and we slide go to C. Now, when we reach at C, we draw our line from C coming downwards. Now, let me just use a thicker line because that is the side of the triangle that we're looking for. So we draw that line, all right, or that side. Now, the other one, which is this angle here, right? This 54-degree angle, we set the, or we place the set square now on that line because we want to get that line parallel from C, right? So we set the instrument on that line. Let me just move out this pair of compass as well as this protractor. Good. And then, of course, I need to set the ruler to support. Because remember, sliding is basically one instrument sliding on another. So when you hear now, you slide this set square to go to C. You remember, we're looking for parallel lines. So when we meet at C, we draw our line straight down to the base. All right, and that will give us now the sides of the triangle that we're looking for. And of course, where the two sides where they meet the baseline, we enclose that with a bold line. All right, and that now can give us the points A and B. All right, so the triangle ABC is the triangle that we are looking for. All right, that is the triangle that we're looking for. Now, if you take your ruler, you measure all three sides and you add the three of them, it should give you 166. All right, likewise, if you take your protractor and you measure the base angles, for example, this angle here, it should be 89, right, which is very close to 90. Likewise, this one here should be 54, as you can see here. All right, so we obtain a triangle that the perimeter is 166 and the two base angles are 89 and 54 mm. All right, so that's it. That completes the construction. And there are no variations in relation to this except that the angles will change. All right, the angles will change. So whatever angle is given, that is what you need to draw, or that is what you would need to obtain at the beginning. Now, why this here gives you 89 degrees is because it is parallel to this one that we started with. Remember, we had to slide to get this one here. So parallel lines, it means they're going in the same angle. Likewise, this 54 that we have here, 54 degrees, and this BC, they are parallel to each other. So they are going in the same angle. All right, so that helps us to get the base angles accurate. Good. So that is how you construct triangles when given the length of the perimeter and the base angles. All right. So here I have for you others that you need to work on. This here should be number 3. So what I need to do, I think these measurements are a little bit too long. As a matter of fact, no, they're not. So whenever you're using your ruler, ensure that you have a long enough ruler that would measure 200 mm, which is the same as 20 cm. All right. Let me just reduce these a little bit, just to be on the safe side. So that should help you in terms of the size of the triangle or the baseline that you'll have to start with. Good. So you'd work on these, complete them, practice on them. And I can guarantee you that after you complete these, you will master this construction. All right, so thank you again for watching. See you again another time. Goodbye.